Welcome to Deep Dive. Today, we're uncovering the hidden psychology behind why social media can feel so addicting and how it might be secretly harming your mental health. From the endless scroll and constant notifications to the relentless comparison trap. Our screens are designed to keep us hooked in ways we rarely realize, but there's hope. Small, simple changes can unlock a powerful transformation in how we think, feel, and connect. Stay tuned as we dive into the surprising science and practical strategies to reclaim your focus and well-being. Meet Sarah, a 23-year-old who spent every waking moment checking her phone. Feeling inadequate after seeing everyone else's highlight reels, she developed severe FOMO, unable to shake the feeling that she was missing out on something better. Sarah couldn't sleep, lying awake at night scrolling through her feeds, chasing an elusive sense of belonging. Despite being constantly connected, she felt more isolated than ever, caught in a cycle of comparison and loneliness. Sound familiar? Sarah participated in a research study that changed everything. By making one simple adjustment to her social media habits, she experienced significantly higher positive emotions and lower anxiety within weeks. Here's exactly what she did, and how you can do it too. What is the dopamine trap? Your brain treats every notification like a slot machine jackpot, releasing dopamine each time you check your phone. That ping from Instagram triggers the same neural response as pulling a lever in Vegas and hitting 3 cherries. Your reward center floods with feel-good chemicals, creating an instant high that leaves you craving the next hit. Social media companies know this. They hire neuroscientists and behavioral psychologists to design features that hijack your brain's reward system. Dr. Christian Monog, a psychologist and researcher, explains that platforms intentionally create addictive experiences using notifications, sounds, and layouts specifically crafted to keep users engaged. Their business model depends on maximizing your time on site to sell more advertising space. The design mirrors gambling addiction in disturbing ways. Infinite scrolling removes natural stopping points, just like casinos eliminate clocks and windows. You never know when the next interesting post will appear, so you keep scrolling. Variable reward schedules make likes, comments, and follower counts unpredictable, creating anticipation that drives compulsive checking. Your brain develops the same neural pathways seen in gambling addicts, where the possibility of reward becomes more powerful than the reward itself. These design features create measurable brain chemistry changes. Every notification releases dopamine in your reward circuits, but the chemical high quickly fades. Your brain adapts by requiring more stimulation to achieve the same effect, creating tolerance. You find yourself checking your phone more frequently, staying online longer, and feeling restless when separated from your device. Research reveals a direct relationship between social media time and anxiety levels. Participants who spent more time daily on social media scored higher than clinical anxiety cutoff scores, indicating possible underlying anxiety disorders. The platforms that promise connection actually rewire your brain to crave digital validation over real-world experiences. This addiction cycle destroys sleep patterns through constant stimulation and blue light exposure. Your brain stays alert, waiting for the next notification, disrupting natural sleep-wake cycles. Poor sleep worsens anxiety and depression, creating a feedback loop where mental health problems drive more social media use. This, in turn, further damages sleep quality. People experience genuine withdrawal symptoms when trying to reduce social media use. Anxiety, irritability, and difficulty concentrating mirror the physical responses seen in other addictions. Your brain protests when deprived of its dopamine source, making it challenging to break free from compulsive checking behaviors. The brain hijacking extends beyond mood into decision-making and impulse control. Constant notification streams train your brain to seek instant gratification, impairing your ability to make rational long-term choices. You might find yourself making impulsive purchases, neglecting responsibilities, or struggling to focus on tasks that require sustained attention. The correlation between social network use and psychological problems is undeniable. Anxiety, depression, insomnia, stress, decreased happiness, and mental deprivation all increase proportionally with time spent online. The frequency of usage and number of platforms multiply these effects, creating a dose-response relationship where more use equals more psychological damage. Understanding these mechanisms represents the first step toward breaking free from the cycle. Your brain's addiction to social media notifications isn't a character flaw or lack of willpower. It's the predictable result of sophisticated psychological manipulation designed to maximize corporate profits at the expense of your mental health. Once you recognize how these platforms exploit your brain's reward system, you can begin to see through their design tricks. This awareness creates the foundation for regaining control, but it also reveals how addiction primes your brain for another dangerous trap that feeds on these very same dopamine pathways. Are you stuck in the comparison trap? Every time you see someone's vacation photos, your brain automatically calculates whether your life measures up. Within milliseconds, you assess their beach backdrop against your mundane Tuesday, their romantic dinner against your takeout meal, their seemingly perfect relationship against your current struggles. This happens without conscious thought, an evolutionary response that once helped humans navigate social hierarchies, but now destroys mental health. Social media creates an endless stream of idealized content that triggers automatic social comparison. Your feed presents carefully curated moments designed to showcase the best possible version of someone's existence. These posts arrive constantly, creating a relentless parade of achievements, experiences, and appearances. Your brain processes this continuous stream as the complete picture of other people's lives. People share only 1% of their actual experiences on social media. Yet your brain treats these highlights as complete reality. Nobody posts about their anxiety attacks, financial stress, relationship arguments, or boring Thursday evenings watching Netflix alone. The messy, complicated, ordinary moments that comprise most of human existence remain invisible. This creates a distorted comparison baseline where everyone else appears to live in perpetual celebration mode. Career success comparisons manifest when you see former classmates announcing promotions while you struggle with job satisfaction. LinkedIn becomes a showcase of professional achievements that makes your own progress feel inadequate. Relationship comparisons emerge through engagement announcements, anniversary celebrations, and couple vacation photos that make your dating life or marriage seem lacking. Appearance comparisons multiply through filtered selfies, workout progress photos, and fashion posts that highlight every perceived flaw in your own body image. Lifestyle comparisons expand across home renovations, expensive purchases, travel destinations, and social gatherings that suggest everyone else enjoys more exciting, fulfilling lives. Each comparison chips away at contentment with your actual circumstances, replacing gratitude with inadequacy. Research demonstrates that social comparison directly correlates with decreased self-esteem and increased anxiety symptoms. The study by Cross and colleagues found that social media use associates with lower self-esteem and decreased life satisfaction. Users who engage in more frequent upward comparisons report higher levels of depression and social anxiety. The overwhelming volume of content forces constant reassessment of personal worth against impossible standards. Psychologists call this phenomenon compare and despair, where repeated social comparisons create a distorted sense of personal inadequacy. Your brain adapts to expect constant validation through likes and comments, while simultaneously measuring your worth against the highlight reels of hundreds of connections. This creates a feedback loop where low self-esteem drives more social media checking, which generates more opportunities for unfavorable comparisons. These comparisons extend beyond peers to influencers and celebrities who present impossible standards. Professional photographers, personal trainers, nutritionists, and image editors create content that appears effortless but requires significant resources and manipulation. Your brain struggles to distinguish between authentic peer experiences and manufactured marketing content. Treating both as realistic benchmarks for personal success, social comparison becomes a mental habit that operates even offline. You find yourself measuring restaurant experiences against Instagram posts, evaluating your home against Pinterest boards, or feeling inadequate about your weekend activities compared to the adventures filling your social feeds. The comparison mindset infiltrates real-world experiences, preventing you from appreciating present moments. Recognizing curated content as performance, not reality, begins to break the comparison cycle. Understanding that social media posts represent marketing rather than authentic life experiences helps your brain process this content more accurately. People showcase their best moments while concealing struggles, creating an illusion of perpetual happiness that distorts your perception of normal human experience. This constant comparison fuels an intense fear of missing out on experiences that others seem to enjoy effortlessly. Here's the 30-minute solution. A simple 30-minute daily limit transformed participants' mental health in ways that surprised even the researchers. What started as a modest intervention became one of the most compelling demonstrations of how small changes create profound psychological shifts. The groundbreaking technology, mind, and behavior study tested social media time limits on a scale never attempted before. Researchers recruited 230 U.S. students to investigate whether restricting platform usage could measurably improve mental health outcomes. The study design eliminated variables that plagued previous research, creating controlled conditions that would produce definitive answers about social media's impact on psychological well-being. The study results were so dramatic that participants experienced measurable improvements within just 1 week. Mental health indicators shifted significantly faster than researchers anticipated, suggesting that social media's negative effects operate more immediately than previously understood. The speed of these changes revealed how quickly the brain responds when freed from constant digital stimulation. The methodology involves splitting participants into 2 distinct groups. Half received instructions to restrict their social media usage to 30 minutes per day for 2 weeks, supported by daily automated reminders to maintain adherence. The other half continued using social media without any restrictions, serving as the control group. This design allowed direct comparison of mental health outcomes between restricted and unrestricted usage patterns. The findings exceeded all expectations. Participants who limited their social media use reported significantly higher levels of positive affect, indicating enhanced mood stability and emotional well-being. They experienced significantly lower levels of anxiety compared to the unlimited usage group. With anxiety scores dropping below clinical concern thresholds, depression symptoms decreased markedly, while feelings of loneliness diminished substantially. Fear of missing out, which typically intensifies when people reduce social media consumption, actually decreased rather than increased. Participants who occasionally exceeded the 30-minute limit still experienced positive benefits, making the approach remarkably flexible. This discovery eliminated concerns about perfectionist adherence, showing that approximate compliance produces meaningful results. The intervention proved forgiving rather than rigid, acknowledging that real-world implementation requires accommodation for varying daily demands and social obligations. Implementing the 30-minute limit requires strategic use of built-in phone controls and specialized apps. iPhone users access screen time settings to establish daily limits for social media categories, receiving notifications when approaching boundaries. Android users utilize digital well-being features that provide similar functionality. Third-party applications like Freedom, Moment, and Space offer additional tracking and restriction capabilities, sending reminders and blocking access when limits are reached. This simple change creates space for real-world activities and relationships that social media consumption typically displaces. Participants reported increased engagement in face-to-face conversations, physical exercise, creative projects, and outdoor activities. The time previously spent scrolling became available for sleep, reading, cooking, and meaningful social interactions. Mental bandwidth freed from processing endless content streams allowed deeper focus on personal goals and relationships. The 30-minute limit works because it breaks the addiction cycle while preserving social media's benefits. Users maintain connections with friends and family, stay informed about important events, and access entertainment content without triggering the compulsive usage patterns that damage mental health. The restriction eliminates mindless scrolling, while retaining intentional platform engagement. The automated reminders proved crucial for success, providing external accountability when internal motivation wavered. Participants appreciated the gentle nudges that helped establish new habits without creating shame or frustration. The system supported behavior change rather than punishing violations. This transformation creates lasting positive changes that extend far beyond the initial 2-week intervention period. And here is a final thought. Social media itself isn't the enemy. Unconscious, unlimited consumption is what sabotages mental health. The platforms become harmful when we surrender control and allow them to dictate our attention, emotions, and self-worth through endless scrolling and constant comparison. Try the 30-minute limit for 1 week and track your mood changes. Notice how your anxiety decreases, your sleep improves, and your real-world relationships strengthen. Document these shifts to reinforce the positive changes happening in your brain. Taking control of social media use means taking control of mental well-being. You have the power to transform these platforms from sources of distress into tools that genuinely enhance your life. Thank you for joining us on this journey to understanding and improving our relationship with social media. Remember, small, mindful steps can lead to big, positive changes. Take charge of your digital habits and reclaim your mental well-being. Stay curious, stay empowered, and never forget your worth outside the screen. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Your support helps us create more valuable content. See you in the next video, and keep striving for a healthier, happier mind. And here,